get so excited before I get up on the stage and be able to tell people about why I live and why I do what I do. And that's about Jesus Christ. I get more excited about that than I did when I was running out of that tunnel, getting ready to play on Sunday afternoon. It's such an honor to be here. You know, I told the earlier crew that, you know, the things that get you so excited in life is so important to you. I told them early on, I grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma. And so early on, I had my life plan already geared up. I knew right from the beginning that I was going to play football. I said I was born on January the 15th, 1974, and I came out of the hospital playing football. I mean, nobody didn't have to tell me to play football. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, but I knew football. And so as I grew up, I used to ball up a sock and play in the Super Bowl and do my thing. And then all of a sudden, I played for the first time in the third grade. When I was playing in third grade, it just felt like it was peace that was on that football field. So I came up with a plan. That was my life plan. I said, you know what? Only thing in life that matters is football and Mike Mentor. If I got those two things, I'm good to go. I don't need nothing else. And so I began to gear my life around those two things right there. In the third grade, I was watching the University of Nebraska getting ready to play the University of Miami for the national championship. Now, at that time, it was just a desire and a burning desire in my heart to go to the University of Nebraska. I fell in love with them right there. Now, you guys who know college football know an Oklahoma boy don't supposed to go to Nebraska. Something's wrong with that. How many of you guys know that God is working in your life even when you don't even know it? I'm here to tell you He is. Even when you don't even know He's working. And at that moment, He was working. And so there in the third grade, I fell in love with Nebraska. I got to my senior year, all of a sudden I get a phone call. Guess who was on the other end of the line? It was Tom Osborne, the head coach at the University of Nebraska. Hey, Mike, look, I want to come down and visit you. I want to give you a scholarship. So I'm excited. You can imagine how I'm feeling. He comes down to the house, and he stands up, and tall guy, about 6'4". And so I know you guys looking at me right now saying, man, I thought he was bigger than that. He's not that big. I know some of you football players like, man, I think I can take him. Like, if he can make it, I can make it. I tell people all the time, you got to be smart and you got to be fast, okay? Smart enough to run away from the big guys when they come, and then fast enough to get away when they come out to you. You do that, you're going to be fine, guys. You'll make it to the NFL. And so, and Tom was telling me about the university, and I sat there and I looked at him and said, Coach, I'm already there. I'm ready to go with you right now. I'll leave with you right now. Get in your bag. Let's go to Nebraska. And I didn't even know what Nebraska was, but I was ready to go. And so about a week later, I get an opportunity to go to Nebraska to visit Nebraska. Let me give you a little background right quick. I grew up in a neighborhood that was predominantly black. It was 98% black people. And I'm getting ready to go to Nebraska. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I grew up in a place that was very similar weather-wise like North Carolina and South Carolina. And I'm getting ready to go to Nebraska in February. I get off the plane, I come down, and it's about 9 degrees, man, and it's snowing. Now I'm thinking to myself, what is this? I didn't know it got that cold in the United States of America. I was like, this is amazing. And so all of a sudden they started showing me around Nebraska, the recruiting coordinator showing me around Nebraska, and I looked around at him, I said, oh, where the black people at? See, I'm nervous, I'm scared. You know, it's the first time I've ever been out of my environment, so I'm scared. Let me tell you guys something. The number one killer of your dreams is fear. See, fear to step out and do what God is calling you to do. So that's the number one killer of your dreams. See, so many people put it on so many other things, but it's fear. The thing that you got to do to overcome fear is faith. Faith would kill it every time. You got to have faith that God is taking you to where He's taking you to. And so I get there to the University of Nebraska, and I am starting as a freshman, coming to my sophomore year, I'm an All-American. Man, life seems so good. And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, how sweet is life? I'm starting at the school I always want to start at. Man, life is good. And then all of a sudden, third game of the season, we getting ready to play Texas Tech. Second half, I come to make the tackle, and as I come to make the tackle, my left foot hit the turf wrong. Pow! My knee popped. And then I wrapped him up, and we tumbled over, and my knee continued to pop, pop, pop. It was a night game, and I'm looking up. It was a clear night game. I'm looking up in the sky, and I'm saying to myself, is this it? You telling me that football can be taken away at any moment? The one thing that I put all my trust into can be snatched away. I'm here to tell you today, guys, that if you got your trust into anything else but Jesus Christ, it can be snatched away at any moment. So you must hold on to something that's for eternity. And Jesus Christ is for eternity. So I remember sitting there and I'm saying to myself, man, you know what? I need to make a deal with God. I said, God, look, FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, they always come and ask me to do these Bible studies. I didn't have time for them at first, but then all of a sudden I'm hurt, so I got time. I said, God, look, let's make a deal. You know, I go to this Bible study. If you get me back on the field, I promise I will. So I hold my up end and I go to the Bible study and I come in, and guess who's leading the Bible study? Tom Osborne, the head coach at the University of Nebraska. So in the third grade, when God put that in my heart, he didn't put that in my heart just because he wanted me to play football. He put that in my heart because he had an appointment with me at the University of Nebraska using the head coach that I love so much, and Tom Osborne. See, again, guys, God will use things so he can talk to you. He don't use things just have fun. He uses things so he can talk to you, have an appointment. Moment I went home and I said, man, I want this. I want Jesus Christ as my Savior. So I went home and I kneeled beside the bed and I said, now look, I don't know how to say it. God, I don't know what to say, but I do know this. I want you to be my head coach. I want to be on your team. I said, God, sign me up on the roster. And at that point, he took his permanent ink pen and he wrote my name on the roster. And from that point on, guys, let me tell you something. When you on that roster, you can't get cut. Oh, you're on there forever. I tell people all the time, the NFL don't stand for National Football League. It stands for not for long, because you're not there alone. So even, guys, when you make it there, you're not alone. You're not there alone, so you might as well have something else in store. So you get on this team, it's forever. That's what made it so good. You know, the other great thing about it is that if you want to be the greatest basketball player ever, you'll go get Michael Jordan. And so if Michael Jordan, if I can unzip your body and put Michael Jordan inside and then zip it back up, and then all of a sudden you start doing some amazing basketball things, shooting three-pointers, gliding from the free throw line, you know, kissing the backboard and doing all these amazing things, and people are looking at you like, I know you. You couldn't even walk and chew gum at the same time. How are you doing this now? And you sit there and you look at him, you say, it ain't me, it's Michael Jordan that's inside. You know, the amazing thing is when you get on this team, guess what happens? God unzips your body, and Jesus Christ gets inside, and he zips it back up. But the great thing about this is he put a lock on it, because he ain't going nowhere. He in there forever, and guess what happens? You begin to do amazing things, and people looking at you like, I know that person. What happened? And you sit there, and you smile, and you say, it's because of Jesus Christ. That's the power, guys, when you hook up with God and his team. I want to say this to the players because I think this is important. When the coach is at practice and coach is giving you all these plays and the coach is telling you guys, all right, on Friday night we're going to go out here and run these plays. Do you have coach out there at 7:30 when kickoff is going on? Is coach right beside you running the play with you? Absolutely not. He on the sideline. He can't come out there. But let me tell you this. When you get on God's team, guess what happens? When you out there on the field, God himself get out there with you. And so when you get in that three-point stance, God get in that three-point stance right next to you and say, let's go make this play happen. That's what happens when you get on God's team. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. God bless you.
Amen. I love you, brother. Thank you, thank you. Pray for these guys today, man. I love you, man.